Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, July 31st, 2023. Today we're going to recap the weekend's MLB, FIFA, other soccer, WNBA. Look ahead to everything going on today. We have golf, NASCAR to go over from the weekend. A lot of MLB trade talk, and I mean a lot. Other news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with baseball. We'll go over the results from the weekend and look ahead to the games today. All right. Marlins over the Tigers 6-5. Phils over the Pirates 2-1. Jays over the Angels 4-1. White Sox over the Guardians 3-0. Orioles over the Yankees 1-0 on a walk-off homer by Anthony Santander. Mets over the Nats 5-1. Braves over the Brewers 10-7. Royals over the Twins 8-5-10 on a walk-off home run by Bobby Witt Jr. It was a grand slam. Rays over the Astros 4-3. Cubs over the Cards 3-2. A's over the Rockies 8-5. Mariners over the D-backs 5-2. Padres over the Rangers 7-1. Reds over the Dodgers 6-5. Red Sox over the Giants 3-2. Saturday. Jays over the Angels 6-1. Tigers over the Marlins 5-0. Pirates over the Phillies 7-6. White Sox over the Guardians 7-2. Royals over the Twins 10-7. Nats over the Mets 11-6. Giants over the Red Sox 3-2 on a walk-off home run by J.D. Davis. Cubs over the Cardinals 5-1. Astros over the Rays 17-4. Yankees over the O's 8-3. Braves over the Brewers 11-5. D-backs over the Mariners 4-3. A's over the Rockies 11-3. Padres over the Rangers 4-0. Dodgers over the Reds 3-2. All right, and then yesterday, Angels over the Blue Jays 3-2-10. Braves over the Brewers 8-6. Pirates over the Phillies 6-4-10 on a walk-off home run by Josh Palicos. So a terrible loss for the Phillies, losing 2 to the Pirates. Marlins over the Tigers 8-6. Mets over the Nats 5-2. Guardians over the White Sox 5-0. Royals over the Twins 2-1. Rays over the Astros 8-2. Cardinals over the Cubs 3-0 as the Cubs winning streak comes to an end. Rockies over the A's 2-0. Giants over the Red Sox 4-3 on a walk-off single by Jock Peterson. Reds over the Dodgers 9-0. Mariners over the D-backs 4-0. Padres over the Rangers 5-3. And the O's over the Yankees 9-3 as the Yankees sat Aaron Judge 2 games after he came back from his injury. All right, today's game 6:40. You have the Phils at the Marlins, Taijuan Walker, Edward Cabrera. Marlins a half game better than the Phillies. Both the Marlins and the Phillies. The Marlins have been active. The Phillies need to do something. They're kind of like the Yankees. Like, they really have to do something. This is a pick'em game. -108 each way. Over under 8. Overs -120. Unders -102. Phils -1.5 is +150. Marlins +1.5 is -182. That's a hard one. Taijuan Walker, all he's done is won this year. His ERA's not great, but I think the Phillies are going to win, -108. All right, 7 o'clock, Rays Yankees from the stadium. Tyler Glasnow, Domingo Germán. The Rays kind of got it together a little bit in Houston, other than the 17-4 disgrace on Saturday. The Rays are favored -132. The Yanks are +112 over under 8.5, -110 each way. Rays -1.5 is +116. Yanks +1.5 is -140. Yankees a home underdog. Nobody believes in them. Glasnow this year has been okay. Domingo Germán has only had the perfect game, and the rest of the year he's been bad. I like the full game over. And every game's the biggest game of the year for the Yankees going forward. And the same can kind of be said for the Milwaukee Brewers as they go against the Nats. Corbin Burns and Jake Irvin. The Brewers -10. The Nats are +176 over under 8.5. Overs -122. Unders even money. Milwaukee -1.5 is -128. Nats +1.5 is +106. Full game under. That's high. O's Jays. Kyle Gibson and Chris Bassett. Blue Jays -148. O's +126 over under 9, -110 each way. O's +1.5 is -170. Jays -1.5 is +140. Totals high. I like the under. And I don't get why the Orioles aren't favored. Angels, Braves. Griffin Canning, Charlie Morton. Braves minus 220, Angels plus 184, over under 10. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Angels plus 1.5 and Braves minus 1.5 is minus 110 each way. I like, personally, the Braves run line, but I don't feel good about it. 8 o'clock, Reds, Cubs. Golden opportunity here for the Cubs. Andrew Abbott and Marcus Stroman, battle of two terrific pitchers this year. Cubs minus 126, Reds plus 108, over under 8, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 100, Cubs minus 1.5 is plus 164. I like the full game under. Guardians, Astros. Noah Syndergaard and JP France. So Noah Syndergaard's first start as a member of the Guardians. Astros minus 178, Guardians plus 150, over under 9, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 134, Astros minus 1.5 is plus 112. JP France has been excellent for the Astros this year. I'm going over. Oh, wait, no, that's way overjuiced. So is the Guardians over, but I'm going to go Guardians under 3.5 runs plus 110. Surprised that Guardians over 3.5 is juiced like that. Padres, Rockies at 8:30. Seth Lugo and Austin Gomber. Padres minus 205, Rockies plus 172, over under 11.5, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Padres minus 1.5 is minus 132, Rockies plus 1.5 is plus 110. Totals way too high at 11.5, but I'm not even going to take the under because it's Coors Field and whatnot. I'm going to go under 4.5 Rockies runs at even money instead. Red Sox, Mariners at 9:30. Nick Pivetta and George Kirby. Big games for the Red Sox here. And Seattle, but Seattle's going to be a seller, it looks like. Seattle minus 134, Red Sox plus 114, over under 7.5, minus 110 each way. Boston plus 1.5 is minus 194. Seattle minus 1.5 is plus 160. I love the over. Why is it that low? George Kirby has been decent this year. Nick Pivetta is not. So I like the over a lot. I'm surprised that that's that low. The Mariner totals are always so low. It's ridiculous. And at 9:45, D-backs, Giants. Ryan Nelson, Alex Cobb. Lines are not posted yet. I would assume San Francisco's favored. They're playing better than Arizona right now. But if the total is anything higher than 8.5, I'll be willing to take the under. Right now we'll do FIFA from the weekend. We'll go over all the results and we'll look ahead to overnight and tomorrow morning. All right, so Friday, England over Denmark 1-0, China over Haiti 1-0. Saturday, Sweden over Italy 5-0, France over Brazil 2-1, Jamaica over Panama 1-0, Morocco over South Korea 1-0. That now we're into Sunday. Norway over the Philippines 6-0. Switzerland, New Zealand 0-0 draw. Colombia over Germany 2-1. And then last night, Japan over Spain 4-0. Zambia over Costa Rica 3-1. Australia over Canada 4-0. Well, some of them are this morning again. Republic Ireland and Nigeria 0-0 draw. All right, a big one overnight. 3 o'clock a.m. on Fox. Portugal and the United States. Must win for the United States. If they lose this game, they're failures this year. They have to win this game. I mean, I can't emphasize what a must-win this is for our girls. U.S. minus 450, Portugal 12-1, and the draw is plus 490. I think U.S. is going to win, obviously. I like over 3.5 goals at 2-1. I think that's a fun one. Fox Sports 1, you have Vietnam and the Dutch. So that is also Group E. The Dutch are minus 6,000. Vietnam is 80-1. The draw is 29-1. The Netherlands should win this. I'm going under 3.5 goals at plus 137. 7 a.m. on Fox, you have China and England, Group D. England's minus 250, China's 7-1, the draw's plus 330. For this one, I like over 2.5 goals at plus 110. And on Fox Sports 1, you have Haiti and Denmark, which is also Group D. Denmark's minus 380, Haiti's 10-1, the draw's plus 440. This one here, I like under 2.5 goals at even money. Okay, now move on to the other soccer. We'll start with the League Cup. Which group stage is going to come to an end tonight, and then the round of 32 will begin tomorrow. All right. Friday, Cincinnati over Guadalajara 3-1. Saturday, Cruz Azul and Atlanta 1-1 draw, but Cruz Azul advances 5-4 on penalties. Charlotte over Necaxa 4-1. Orlando over Santos 3-2. Juarez over Austin 3-1. UNAM over DC United 3-0. And then Sunday, Querétaro over Tijuana 1-0. Atlas over Toronto 1-0. Red Bulls over Athletic San Luis 2-1. Vancouver over the Galaxy 2-1. Monterrey over Seattle 4-2. That's surprising. And Tigres over San Jose 1-0. All right, on to tonight. 4 games. First up, 8 o'clock, you have America and the Columbus Crew. This is Central Group 1. And each team has won its games against St. Louis. So, disappointing that St. Louis did not carry over some regular season success. And now this is an opportunity for one of these teams to put itself in a good spot in the knockout round bracket. Columbus is plus 150, America plus 145, draw plus 250. I'm going with the Columbus. Or Columbus is plus 145, and America is plus 150, draw plus 250. I read that wrong. Columbus is winning that, plus 145. Puebla and Chicago. This is Central Group 2. Chicago beat Minnesota, and Puebla lost to Minnesota. Puebla plus 195, Chicago plus 110, draw plus 260. I like the Chicago Fire at plus 110. I picked them to win the group. 9:30, Toluca and Colorado. This was Central Group 4. Colorado lost to Nashville and Toluca beat Nashville. And I had Nashville winning the group. Each team's plus 150. The draw's plus 240. I'm going to go with Toluca at plus 150. And then 10 o'clock tonight, we have Guadalajara and KC. This is Central Group 3. Each team is lost to Cincinnati. So this is a big game, probably the biggest game of tonight in Leagues Cup. Guadalajara is plus 160, KC plus 140, draw plus 240. I picked Guadalajara to win the group, believe it or not, but Cincinnati won the group. But I think Guadalajara goes to the knockout round. I'm going to take them at plus 160. All right, I'm quickly going to the weekend. Pittsburgh over Memphis 4-2. Charleston over Birmingham 2-1. Miami over Loudoun 2-1. Tampa over Tulsa 3-0. Louisville over Indy 2-0. Rio Grande over El Paso 5-2. San Antonio over Hartford 5-2. Phoenix over Monterey Bay 2-0. Oakland Detroit 1-1 draw. Orange County over New Mexico 1-0. Sacramento over Vegas 2-1. And Sunday, San Diego over Colorado 2-0. Okay, now move on to the WNBA. We will recap the games from the weekend. I believe we do not have any WNBA games yet. That's correct. All right, Friday. Lynx over to Liberty, 88-83. Storm over to Sky, 83-74. Wings over to Mystics, 90-62. Sunday, Liberty over to Sparks, 87-79. Read that wrong. Lynx over to Sun, 87-83. Dream over to Mystics, 80-73. Storm over to Fever, 85-62. Sky over to Mercury, 104-85. And the Aces over to Wings, 104-91. All right, now we will go over the results from the 3M Open. Interesting, to say the least. And your winner of the event with the score of 24 under, he ran away with this, was Lee Hodges. Tied for second with 17 under, Martine Laird, Kevin Strillman, and JT Potson. Tied for fifth with 16 under, Keith Mitchell, Dylan Wu, Sam Ryder, Tony Finau, and Alex Badley. Tied for 10th with 14 under, Cam Davis, Scott Stevens, and Emiliano Grillo. Tied for 13th with 13 under, Nate Hardy, Brett Horschel, Zach Blair, Alex Moran, Callum Taryn, B.U. Hostler, Grayson Higo. Tied for 20th with 12 under, Ben Griffin, Taylor Hogue, Tyler Duncan, Tyson Alexander, Aaron Ray, Jason Duffner, Matthias Schmid. Tied for 27th with 11 under, Doug Gims, Sahyu Kim, and Jason Hadley. Tied for 30th with 10 under, Kramer Hickok, Hideki Matsuyama, Mackenzie Hughes, Doc Redman, Max McGreevy, Eric Cole, Stefan Yeager. Tied for 37th with 9 under, Adam Svebson, Stuart Sink, Patrick Rogers, JJ Spawn, Adam Long, CAU. Tied for 43rd with 8 under, Paul Haley, Justin Sue, Matt Wallace, Matt Guchar, Justin Lauer, Davis Lipsky, MJ Daffé. Tied for 50th with 7 under, Victor Merman, Trey Molinax, and Peter Kust. Tied for 53rd with 6 under, Brant Snecker, Russell Knox, Chad Ramey, Bryce Garnett. Tied for 57th with 5 under, Henrik Norlander, Grayson Murray, Brandon Wu, Nate Lashley, and Ryan Gerard. Tied for 62nd with 4 under, James Hahn and Frankie Kappen. Tied for 64th with 3 under, Matthias Schwab, Ludwig Aberg, Kevin Chappell, Trevor Cole, Sangil No, Kaito Onishi. 70th at even was CT Pond. 71st with 1 over is Ben Taylor. Tied for 72nd with 7 over, Joaquim Herman and Augusto Nunez. And among those cut, Adam Hadwin, Lucas Glover, Taylor Pendrith, Kevin Twice, Scott Harrington, Steve Thiglia, Charlie Hoffman, Ryan Moore, Andrew Novak, Sean O'Hare, Ryan Palmer, Evan Van Rooyen, Nicholas Hojard, Estelonzo Goyo, Harry Hall, Jimmy Walker, Robbie Shelton, Christian Ziedenhout, Brian Stewart, Nate Watney, Joel Dahman, Justin Thomas, Chris Stroud, Cam Young, Davis Thompson, Brian Matthews, Mark Hubbard, Richie Rensky, Sanjay M, Taylor Montgomery, Matthew Neesmith, Carson Young, KH Lee, Robert Stroud, Brian Moore, Seb Straka, Cam Percy, Sodi Kadiara, Austin Cook, Jonathan Bird, Kevin Roy, Chester V, Troy Merritt, Dylan Fratelli, Kevin Westmoreland, Michael Glidgick, Ben Martin, Hank Lebiota, Austin Eckroyd, Sam Bennett, Harrison Endicott, Patton Kazir, Lucas Griffin, Gary Woodland, Peter Malnati, Andrew Landry, Ryan Fox, Michael Kim, Brian Gay, Nicholas Echevarria, Grayson Sieg, Harry Higgs, Brent Grant, Will Gordon, Austin Smotherman, and withdrawing Kelly Kraft, Trevor Werblow, and Scott Piercy. Alrighty. NASCAR from the weekend. We'll go over the results from the weekend. We'll start with trucks. Winning the truck race was Carson Hosvar. Second, Ty Majeski. Third, Zane Smith. Fourth, Jake Garcia. Fifth, Matt Mills. Sixth, Corey Heim. Seventh, Matt Crafton. Eighth, Nick Sanchez. Ninth, Grant Effinger. 10th, William Sawalik. The rest, Christian X, Ben Rhodes, Tanner Ankrum, Tanner Gray, Haley Deegan. Oh, wait, no, I messed up. 14th was Taylor Gray, Tanner Gray, 16th. Tyler Ankrum, 13th. I got the names mixed up there. I'm sorry, guys. All right, Matt DiBenedetto, Bailey Curry, Raja Caruth, Connor Jones, Daniel Dye, Chase Purdy, Timmy Hill, Colby Hallard, Dean Thompson, Will Rogers, Stuart Friesen, Lawless Allen, Brett Holmes, Ryan Vargas, Justin Carroll, Christian Rose, Derek Lemke, Mason Massey, Spencer Boyd, and Josh Rume. Xfinity from the weekend. Your winner, Sam Meyer. Coming in second, Parker Kligerman. Third, Austin Hill. Fourth, Sage Karam. Fifth, Riley Herb. Sixth, Josh Berry. Seventh, Kaz Grala. Eighth, Josh Bleeky. Ninth, AJ Allmendinger. 10th, Brandon Jones. The rest, Daniel Henrik, Jeb Burton, Ryan Sieg, Parker Retzlaff, Brendan Poole, Anthony Alfredo, Blaine Perkins, Justin Allgaier, Brad Perez, Kyle Weatherman, Josh Williams, Parker Emmerling, Joe Graff Jr., Stanton Barrett, Dexter Stacy, Sheldon Creed, Jeremy Clements, Leyland Honeyman, Connor Mozak, Cole Custer, Sammy Smith, Kyle Sieg, Alex Labbe, John Hunter Nemechek, Ryan Ellis, Brett Moffitt, Chandler Smith, and Catherine Legg. And the Cup Series. Your winner, Chris Boucher. So a very unexpected winner over the weekend. Coming in second was Denny Hamlin. Third was Kyle Busch. I believe that's who my pick was. Fourth was Joey Logano. Fifth, Ryan Preece. Sixth, Brad Keselowski. Seventh, Martin Truex Jr. Eighth, Eric Almirola. Ninth, Austin Dillon. 10th, Kevin Harvick. The rest, Chase Briscoe, Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Gibbs, Tyler Reddick, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, Chris Bell, William Byron, Michael McDowell, Eric Jones, Ross Chastain, Todd Gilliland, Austin Cindric, AJ Allmendinger, Noah Gragson, Ryan Newman, Justin Haley, Harrison Burton, Corey LaJoie, Daniel Suarez, Ty Dillon, J.J. Yealy, and B.J. McLeod. All right, next weekend is Michigan, Xfinity Saturday, Cup Sunday. No trucks until August 11th in Indianapolis. All right, on to MLB trade talk. We've had a lot of trades over the weekend, but no bigger than the New York Metropolitans trading Max Scherzer to the Texas Rangers for a young prospect who has a familiar name, and that young prospect is Luis Angel Acuna, who is the brother of Ronald Acuna. All right. The Rangers are really going for it. Jacob deGrom's out for the year. Nathan Eovaldi's now on the injured list, which we'll get to in news and notes. And Texas sees the opportunity to go for it. The Astros are down compared to other years. Who the hell knows? Maybe they respond by going to bring back Justin Verlander. But good on the Rangers for really going for it. I think they are going to potentially regret giving up Acuna down the road, but they didn't need him. They have Corey Seager and they have Marcus Semien. But my question is it worth giving up Acuna for 2 years or a year and a half of Max Scherzer, who is, in my opinion, not the same guy as he was with the Nationals when the Nationals won the World Series? So that's the case against Acuna, meaning against trading Acuna for a year and a half of Max Scherzer. So this year he's been excellent in Double-A, .315 with 7 homers and 51 RBIs, OPS at .830. So he's raking. He's raking at Frisco. And now the Mets have a middle infielder of the future. So that was for that straight up trade, I like it for the Mets. But at the same time, the Mets deserve all the criticism in the world for really being such a failure this year. And they recognized that it wasn't working, so they're blowing it up. Maybe Verlander's next to go. I think everyone's available on that team except for Peter Alonso. Alonso's the only guy that's untouchable on the New York Metropolitans. But like I said, the Mets season's a disgrace, and Steve Cohen knows it, and good on him and the front office for not fantasizing that they're still in the race. So they get a really, really solid prospect there with Acuna, and good on the Rangers for really going for it. And then the Rangers also acquired Jordan Montgomery from the St. Louis Cardinals. So they have a new look rotation. And their rotation is already good. It's crazy that they added both Montgomery and Scherzer. Scherzer's going to be at the top of the rotation, though, with Eovaldi, who's hurt right now. But the fact that they traded for both those guys is not a good look for Ohtani. Eovaldi, I'm worried might be out for the year. Then why would they trade for 2 pitchers then? So the Rangers get Jordan Montgomery and Chris Stratton. So Thomas Sagisi and Takoa Roby and reliever John King to the Cardinals. So I'm just going to pull up the Rangers farm system rankings real quick. Maybe they're under St. Louis. So Sagisi is now the number 8 prospect in the card system. And Roby is number 4 in the card system. So the Cards did pretty well in this deal too. And like I said, you got to give credit to Texas for really going for it. Now their rotation's absolutely stacked with those guys, Eovaldi, and then Jacob deGrom when deGrom comes back. But Montgomery's a free agent, so he's a rental. And then you have Dane Dunning. Now you don't have to deal with Martin Perez, because I just don't think he's very good. And I think Texas knows that, and that's another reason why I feel like they went out and got not 1 but 2 pitchers. But I also think Texas needs a bat. Their offense sputtered against the Yankees without Aaron Judge about a month ago. So that's all you need to know. So I think Texas needs a bat as well. But really, really good on Texas for really going for it. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim also made a big trade, acquiring Randall Grichuk and C.J. Cron from the Colorado Rockies in exchange for Jake Madden and Mason Albright. So the Angels, one of the reasons why they did this was because of the injury to Taylor Ward. So they reacted to the injury, of course. Madden is now going to be the 20th prospect in the Rock system and an Albright 21. So getting two lower tier prospects for Cron and Grichuk who could help the Angels now. I think it's a win-win. The Rockies need pitching in their system. Albright's been pretty good this year in Fresno, and Madden has not been good, so maybe it's a change of scenery thing. And Madden obviously was a 4th-round pick last year, so maybe he'll pitch better with the Rockies. But I like this deal for LA, really deepening their lineup in the wake of the injuries and really trying to make that push for Shohei Ohtani. So we'll see how that goes. But the Angels, I think, might be, if there's a team that's going to regret buying, I feel like it's them. So that's that. And then another trade that went down was the Blue Jays acquired Jordan Hicks from the St. Louis Cardinals for Adam Kloffenstein and Sem Reverse. I like this addition for Toronto. I don't think Jordan Hicks has been very good this year, but maybe a change of scenery will help him. But at the same time, I don't know if I trust him getting big outs against the AL East. Like Aaron Judge in the top of the ninth inning in a big game in Toronto, like that's a good bet to hit a home run. So I don't know if this is going to be the perfect addition for Toronto, but I don't hate it. So we'll see how this one goes. And Kloffenstein, let's see where these guys end up on the Cardinals list. 23. 3rd-round pick for Toronto in 2018. It's been okay this year in AA. And it's going to be in AAA with Memphis. And then Sem Reverse is now 6th in the card system. He's going to be in Memphis as well. Didn't pitch great in New Hampshire for the Blue Jays. So, going to be interesting. All right, other trade deadline stuff. So, we did the trades already. So, coming down not long ago, no White Sox off limits. Chicago was listening to offers for everyone on the roster, including Luis Robert and Dylan Cease. Holy shit. That's wild. They are really waving the white flag, and they really have done a nice job recruiting prospects as they really aced the trades with the Angels. And I don't know what they got back for Lance Lynn, who went to the Dodgers. I'm going to look that up right now. And I don't think Lance Lynn's been any good for the White Sox this year. And obviously, Joe Kelly goes to the Dodgers in that deal. So Trace Thompson is back in that deal. I'm sure it was hard for the Dodgers to trade Trace Thompson because obviously he's had big moments for them, and then there's that Lakers-Michael Thompson connection there. So I think that's a hard one for the city of Los Angeles to swallow. And then minor league starter Nick Nastrini and minor league reliever Jordan Lejour. So Lejour and Nastrini. So Nastrini is now their number 4 prospect. Been okay for Tulsa. Now he's going to be in Birmingham. And then I don't know if Leisure's in. Yeah, Leisure cracked the 26. And he was actually pretty good in Tulsa, and he's going to be in Charlotte in AAA for the White Sox. So the White Sox have done a fantastic job in these trades for Giolito and for Lance Lynn. So they're doing a great job remaking their farm system here. The Braves are looking to add a starting pitcher. That's new, and they've checked in on Verlander. Oh, baby. Imagine if they got Verlander. Oh, my God. No one's beating them. But their growing belief is that the Mets will hang on to Justin Verlander. Although Verlander is committed to win a championship with the Mets, but is open if the team wants to move in a different direction. The Red Sox considering dealing Adam Duvall and James Paxton as they eye young pitching help. They do need young pitching help, for sure. The Dodgers were talking to the Cardinals about Jordan Montgomery and Jack Flaherty, so Montgomery's off the table. Flaherty's the one that they could get. And they're in position to acquire Justin Verlander. An Astros reunion is unlikely. Cardinals report says that the Cards are not trading Nolan Arenado, working on building roster for future success. So that must mean Goldschmidt's off the table as well. So the Rangers were in play for Verlander, but now I would assume that they're out of the picture. Dodgers, Astros, and the Reds. The Reds are a different one, but I don't know if I'd like that fit. I love the Atlanta fit for him. Obviously, Houston. He knows that team. The Orioles only want pitching, as they say the only deals they'll make will be for relief and rotation help. And then Michael Lorenzen, the Marlins and the O's are showing interest. I think the Marlins would be a wonderful fit for Lorenzen. I don't know if I'd like Lorenzen in Baltimore against the AL East teams, but the Orioles' left field is not what it used to be, so maybe that would be a fit. And then the other trade I was thinking of for the White Sox is that they trade Kendall Graveman to Houston for Corey Lee. And Corey Lee isn't even ranked in their system. That's because he played a lot of games with the Astros this year. That is a great return for Kendall Graveman. So the prices this year are really, really high for these players. And Corey Lee obviously was a first-round pick. Now he is going to be in AAA for Chicago. The Cubs are look like they're going to be holding, as they had the 8-game winning streak. After it was reported they were considering selling and that they're firmly on the fence. The Yankees are eyeing Dylan Carlson, and they were eyeing Jordan Hicks before he got dealt to Toronto. Carlson would be a really good ad for the Yankees. He'd be an upgrade in left field. And Carlson has control. So that's why I think that would be a great addition for the Yankees. He hasn't been very good this year. So maybe a change of scenery could really do him some wonders after a couple of down years. And another team's in play for Flaherty, Rays and the Marlins. I know the Rangers obviously landed Montgomery. Hicks went to Toronto, and the Marlins would be a great fit for Flaherty as well. The Yankees are expected to add help as they'll make some moves in the last hours of the trade deadline. That's what they should do. Let's see how tonight goes against the Rays, how far back they are. If they are more than 3 back in the loss column, they trade Glaber and trade some guys that have value. But if they win tonight and some other teams lose, go for guys that could help you. Carlson, maybe change the scenery can help. Maybe consider going after some relievers. So we'll see what they do. But listen, they're doing it. I know some will say they're doing it wrong by waiting. You never know what could be on the market. So that's why I'm always a believer in waiting. And the Yankees did not really, quote-unquote, wait to sell a couple years ago. And there were better guys available for them to potentially get in prospects. Juan Soto, Nationals, most notably. So, that's my biggest thing is always wait, because you never know what's available for you. The Marlins are pushing hard for Gleyber Torres, as they've eyed him for a year, but apparently the Yankees' price is too steep. I think NJ Advanced Media is full of crap, personally. And then the Yankees, Phillies, Blue Jays, and Marlins are all seeking right-handed hitters ahead of the deadline. So, there's some deadline talk for you, and obviously, if any other big monster trades go down, then I might have a special show tonight. But you would have thought I would have done a show for the Mets trading Max Scherzer, but I just didn't have the time to do so. So that's why I had to do a segment about it on today's show. All right, the other news and notes, we're going to do rapid fire style. The Sean Payton, Nathaniel Hackett drama has been crazy. Sean Payton regrets what he said about McVay. Nathaniel Hackett and Rodgers warns Sean Payton as he defends Nathaniel Hackett. So that Jets-Broncos game in Week 5 is going to be something. A 49ers wide receiver had some beef with Trayvon Diggs, and that's also in Week 5. Travis Kelce punched a teammate. And then he took accountability after the scuffle during practice. The Eagles unveiled Kelly Green uniforms as they're bringing back those threads. And Sonny Michel retires as Sean McVay announces that Michel is retiring from the league after 5 seasons. Michel, interesting. I'm surprised he's retired so quickly. He must have some stuff going on. But yeah, he bounced around a lot. Patriots, Rams. John Mechie III shakes off a defender, and it was posted on social media. The Jonathan Taylor drama has been crazy. He requested a trade, apparently. And then the relationship has been damaged as things between Taylor and the Colts seem to be unraveling and everything is on the table right now. And then Jim Irsay says that they won't trade Jonathan Taylor. He goes, not now and not in October. And then JT would cost the Colts an early round draft pick in any deal for Jonathan Taylor. And JT could be placed on the non-football injury list for back injury from own workouts. And then he comes out and says he never had or reported back pain. So this is a mess. The Indianapolis Colts are dealing with a messy situation on their hands with their star running back. Chris Jones liked a tweet, which may speculate that contract talks with Chiefs and Chris Jones may be at a standstill. Ezekiel Elliott was visiting the Patriots over the weekend, so that's interesting. Dalvin Cook had his visit to the Jets. He is not signed there yet, but it looks like he will. The Vikings are open to trading Danielle Hunter as they failed to reach a new long-term contract, although they did agree to a 1-year, $20 million deal. The Bengals signed XFL quarterback Reed Sinnett after Joe Burrow's injury. There's speculation that Burrows could miss into the regular season, which would not be great for the Bengals, obviously. The Steelers to sign Kawan Alexander pending a physical, so that is a really interesting veteran signing for the Steelers. And the Dolphins are signing Eli Apple after Jalen Ramsey's injury. So Eli Apple, I don't think is a good player. Maybe I'm bitter about that because he was a bust draft pick with the Giants. But he played well in the Bengals Super Bowl run. And maybe with Xavier Howard there, in the Dolphins secondary, maybe he'll play a little better. Kenneth Walker has a shoulder injury, a strain to his groin. And Zach Charbonnet out indefinitely with a shoulder injury. So some Seahawks injuries, not great for them. That they should be okay. But yeah, Burrow out several weeks. Could be a factor heading into the regular season. And Jalen Ramsey out until December. Full meniscus tear repair on Friday morning. And expect to be back for the playoff push. And who even knows if they're going to be in the playoff push? That's a very bad injury. Garrett Wilson sprains his ankle as he's not practiced since Wednesday as the team is being cautious. That's not great for the Jets. Now I'll do baseball news and notes. We talked about Taylor Ward getting injured as he was carted off the field and taken to the hospital after being hit in the face and will likely miss the remainder of the regular season. So that is a loss for the Angels, but they got Grichuk to replace him. Shohei Ohtani left in the 9th inning with cramping in both legs, but no IL stint, so that's good news. If he was on the IL, that team is crap garbage. Like, worse than the Yankees without Aaron Judge bad. Because, let's face it, they're a one-man show, as in Shohei Ohtani. Even though they did get some nice pieces at the deadline, but they're a one-man show. SHO. Jordan Romano to the injured list with the lower back inflammation, so that's not great for Toronto. That makes sense why they pulled off the Jordan Hicks deal to do some softening of the blow. So Evaldi on the injured list with the forearm injury. I'm worried about Evaldi. There's a Reason why they went out and got Jordan Montgomery, too. But imagine Eovaldi, Scherzer, and Montgomery. Well, Montgomery really won't be a number 4 starter in the playoffs for them. Dane Dunning's in their rotation. But they're loaded, Texas. Billy Epler addresses the Max Scherzer trade as he says it's not a rebuild. It does look like a rebuild, especially if you trade Scherzer, if you end up trading Verlander, and you trade Pham, and you trade a bunch of other guys not named Alonso, it is kind of a rebuild. Dave Roberts says a Walker Buehler return is possible, as he says it's a viable possibility coming off his second Tommy John surgery. So that would be great if they got him back. There are some MLB owners frustrated with the Athletics situation as they have received the preferential treatment from the league. Of course, they're upset. All right, so Saturday had a huge crowd attendance. An average of 38,858 marked the highest attended Saturday since August 10th, 2013. So that's the highest in 10 years. So that's great for the game. So Arenado to the Dodgers, a long shot. And the Cardinals are likely only trading impending free agents. We talked about the Yankees getting Aaron Judge back. He made a huge impact on Saturday night's game. Friday night's game was zip until Santander's walk-off homer. And then yesterday, the Yankees got their asses kicked because Luis Severino doesn't belong in an MLB rotation anymore. And they would have lost that game if Judge was in the lineup. Maybe the Yankees score 6 runs instead of 3, or 5 runs instead of 3, but they still lose because Severino's that bad. So maybe the Yankees knew to sit Judge in a game that they thought they weren't going to win anyway. And I'm not defending the Yankees in any stretch of the imagination for sitting Judge on Sunday. It was uncalled for. Bartolo Colon to retire as a Met in a ceremony on September 17th. So that's pretty cool for them. Miles Mikolas suspended 5 games for throwing at Ian Happ on Thursday night. That probably cost him a trade. USA Youth Baseball team under 12 wins 43-1 in World Cup play with record-shattering blowout over New Zealand. Where's the mercy rule there? Like, those New Zealand kids must be embarrassed and ashamed. Justin Verlander gets 250 wins, so congrats to him in what could have been his final start as a Met. Giants defensive end Kayvon Thibodeau unhappy with rookie years. He said last year's film kind of disgusts him when he looks at himself, but I don't think Kayvon was bad last year. Maybe he just thinks he could be better. All right, Bud Crawford moves to 40-0 after his TKO victory over Errol Spence Jr., so congrats to him. Katie Ledecky passes Michael Phelps as she makes history with the most career individual swimming world titles of all time, so that's amazing. Brittany Griner to miss 2 games to focus on mental health. I mean, that's not completely stunning. She's been dealing with a lot since she came back. And her team's been disappointing, obviously. Some basketball stuff. The Clippers won't rush a Kawhi extension as talks are kind of quiet. And how about this? The NBA sent a Dame trade memo as Lillard and his agent Aaron Goodwin could be disciplined if they insist he only wants to go to the Heat. They should be disciplined if that's the case, because Portland has a right to trade him wherever he wants because he doesn't have a limited no trade clause. The Blazers should trade him to the team with the best offer. And then Lillard's agent goes and denies, telling teams Dame would refuse to play for them if he wasn't traded to the Heat. Goodwin's a liar. Of course he only wants to go to the Heat. That's all we've been hearing all summer long. The New York Knicks are expected to extend Josh Hart in the range of 4 years, $75 million in August. So if they extend him, just keeping an asset. So it'd be cool if they extended him because they gave up a first-round pick for him. Thanasis Antetokounmpo re-signs with the Bucks. So he goes to play with his brother. Paul George and Karl Anthony Towns appeared to be on vacation together, joined by Ivica Zubac and Patrick Beverley. That's an interesting group. Does Cat want to go to the Clippers? That's funny. Drake May, the Carolina quarterback, gets huge praise as an AFC executive refers to him as a potential generational prospect in 2024. Well, I don't think he's as good as Caleb Williams. That's for sure. But I do think May will be very good. Drake is obviously touring right now, and he took a picture in the Capitals locker room, and he says other teams are slipping. All right, some other college football. An SEC team offered Tolia Tagovailoa $1.5 million as he was offered crazy money to transfer from Maryland, but declined. So that's interesting. I wonder if that team was like Auburn or LSU. I don't think it was Alabama because I don't think that Alabama would want Tua's brother again. 5-star prospect and number 14 overall prospect for 2024, Perry Thompson, has switched his commitment from Alabama to Auburn. So that's a big get for Auburn. A couple of soccer stuff. Real Madrid still wants Mbappe, as PSG is open to a deal to avoid Mbappe leaving on free transfer next year. And the two clubs have yet to hold talks. And in Milan to sign Yunus Musa, as Musa is leaving Valencia on a $22 million transfer. Alrighty. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There was one that stood out to me. Obviously, Friday's lost, as I went with the under in the Braves game. And it did not work out. So I'm going to lay a quarter unit on over 7.5 between the Red Sox and the Mariners. That's a really low total. I know George Kirby's been very good, but if that's 5-3 Mariners, that's a win. That is way too low. The Red Sox are a good offensive team at times. They're much better offensively at home than on the road. I understand that, but that's very low. Especially in a game where Nick Paveda's pitching. Come on. I like the over in that game a lot. All right, so that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow for sure for the regular show of a portfolio pick to give out, and maybe it's a pre-trade deadline pick for baseball. We'll see. And we may do a trade deadline show tomorrow to recap the trade deadline. But if not tomorrow, then we might have to do it Wednesday morning before the regular show. But if there's any monster trades today, that I might have to do a special show tonight. So keep an eye on that. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.